Before I found out I was pregnant with my second child, I felt a lump in my breast, and it was really small. Didn't think much of it. And my first thought was, okay, I could be pregnant. And so I waited for another few weeks, and I took a test, and sure enough, it was pregnant. It came back positive. So we were very excited. And so I went to my first appointment, to my OB, and I told my doctor about the small lump, and she observed it, and we kept it under observation, and through the next 3 months, it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and it started to hurt, like really bad. Started to hurt really bad, and finally she ordered tests, and they all came back positive for cancer. And when they told me I had cancer, it was a big shock at first, because, at first you're just, wow, this cannot be happening. I'm pregnant. I should be having this joyful time right now and not go through cancer and treatments and the unknown. So at first I was angry, like, why did this happen? What did I do to deserve this? This isn't fair. I shouldn't have this happening right now. This is a joyful time. I want to enjoy my pregnancy. And at the time, I already had a 2-year-old daughter, Reagan. And then it started to turn into, denial. This isn't happening. What are you talking about? Cancer. It's just a mishap. And then it started to turn into fear. And I think fear was my biggest thing to conquer. The unknown, the uncertainty, the what ifs. What is my future now? Am I going to be around to see my baby? Am I going to be able to hold her? Am I going to see them get married? And what about my husband? He's gone through a lot. And then I just had to stop and accept it. This is happening. What are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. Just make a decision and go with it. So I started chemo right away. And I went through chemo for 5 months, once a week, every week. And it was okay because a lot of the drugs now don't cross the placenta. So I felt a little bit more safe. And I felt she was going to be okay. My baby was going to be okay. And this was the best option because I could not wait for treatment. I had to. It was a very aggressive cancer, and I could not wait. Chemo was my only option. So I started. When I started treatment, I felt horrible. It was difficult. I wasn't able to be given certain drugs to help calm you, or most people would say go to sleep during treatments. I was always wide awake. And when I would get home, I would be nauseous and tired, and I would just struggle. When my hair started to fall out, it was only about a week and a half after I started my first treatment, and it hurt. It hurt really bad, which is very surprisingly because it's not supposed to. So when my husband came home, I just held up the trimmers and I was like, just shave it, take it off. And he's like, okay. So we went to the bathroom and he shaved my head, and then my daughter runs in, and she's only 2 at the time, and she's like, Mom, what are you doing? I was like, well, I need to shave my head because it hurts, Mom. And she's like, oh, I'll do it. And she just, after we shaved it, she pat my head like a dog and goes, you look great, Mom. I love it. And she just went on her way. And that helped a lot. It made me feel better that she wasn't scared of me, you know. And as you're going through, you just got to keep telling yourself, you know, this is a joyful time. Okay, I don't look the greatest right now, but I will again. And you just got to keep that positive note in your head that it will be okay. All right. After I went through chemo, I had to have my baby about 5 weeks early because I needed to remove the tumor before it grew back and spreaded. So I actually had a very easy delivery, which was very surprising. And she was born, and she is healthy and happy, and that was the biggest joy ever, just seeing her when she was born, that she was okay. Because when I was first diagnosed, again, the fear, what's gonna happen to my baby? Am I gonna mess her up? You know, is she gonna have to live with this her whole life too, just because I, chose to do chemo while pregnant with her. And when she was born and I saw that she was okay and she was healthy, it was very exciting. And then a few months later, I had to have breast reconstruction, bilateral. I had bilateral reconstruction done. And I had a few complications, but everything's working out good now. And then I was going in for another appointment to have another surgery. And lo and behold, we found out from the doctors that I was pregnant again with my third child, just only about 7 months after chemo. So you are a little fertile still, even though they tell you you're not. That was a big shock for us too, but it was exciting that we got to add more to our family. And even though I wasn't going through chemo and treatment during that time with my third pregnancy, you're still concerned because your body's still going through everything, dumping it out of your system. So what happens if I mess this baby up now? And luckily, he is very healthy and very big. And he's great. So it worked out. And I just had to keep telling myself, this is okay. We're gonna make it. So I found support groups I attended, and I found Survive That. And I attended the group meetings and just talking with the other women about my story, venting to them, and they would listen. I would listen to them. We had similar situations, like when you didn't feel good during treatments, and what did you go through? And I was able to just express myself in these support groups and survive that. And then I went to other groups as Unite, attended that, and even with all the support group, I was able to find my confidence, my courage again, feel pretty again. It was just great to be able to share my journey with others. I want everybody to know that being a cancer survivor, this wasn't a death sentence. To keep your head up when you walk in through treatments. Keep believing. This is a difficult phase in your life. No one can take that away. But if you give into it, it will definitely make it harder to just believe in yourself that you can do it. Just keep fighting. I'm Stacey Moore, and I am a cancer survivor.